එදිනෙදා ඔබේ මුළු සිරුරටම රැකවරණයක්. සුදේශී කොඹ සබන්.
ලෙන්ගතුකම වැඩි කරගන්න ලව්ජු රුපියල් 50 අඩු කළා.
මාමේ එන්න අපිට එකක් බොමු.
Tonight, untimely end. 3 persons trampled to death during aid distribution. Fundamental rights petitions. The court told of opposition's ulterior motives and how it attempted to strike a deal with the government. Delay in play. The government shelves Hormargam International Cricket Stadium plans. Low income to no income. The government decides to do away with further relief payments at the Election Commission's behest. All that and much more coming up on First at 9, this Thursday the 21st of May 2020.
From AdaDerana, this is AdaDerana First at 9.
ඔය 69.97ට SMS කර රුපියල් මිලියන 3ක මුල්තැන්ගේ උපකරණ දිනාගෙන අවුරුද්දෙම කුස්සිය ටයිම් සේව් කරගන්න.
Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening and welcome to First at 9. I'm Dhamkesh Naik. Let's start with your local stories. Now, people being trampled to death is something this country is not accustomed to. However, it happened today. 3 women perished when people flocked at a residence in Maligavat in Colombo to get their hands on a 2,500 rupee sum distributed by a businessman as aid. This had been organised without necessary approval from authorities, disregarding the curfew in effect and the health protocols put in place by the government to combat the COVID-19 pandemic.
The aid had been distributed at a residence near the Darussalam College along the Jumma Masjid Road in Maligavat, Colombo. Around 300 locals had congregated at the residence in line with a notification which informed them to come at around 2 p.m. The police say that disagreements erupted between those who arrived to obtain financial aid. During the resulting stampede, 4 elderly women had fallen to the ground.
මේ ස්ථානයේ වෙලා තියෙන්නේ දෙහිවල ප්‍රදේශයේ ව්‍යාපාරිකයෙක්. ඔහුට අයත් මෝටර රථ අමතර කොටස් ගබඩා කරන ස්ථානයක් තමයි මේ ස්ථානයේ තියෙන්නේ. ඔහු ඇඳිරිනීති බලපත්‍රයක් ලබාගෙන තියෙනවා දෙහිවල පොලිසියෙන් ව්‍යාපාරික ස්ථානයට යන්න අවශ්‍යයි කියලා මේ කටයුතු පවත්වා ගැනීම සඳහා තව 4 දෙනෙක් එක්ක අද උදේ ඇවිල්ලා මේ ස්ථානට ඔහු දහවල් කාලයේදී ජනතාව මේ ප්‍රදේශයේ ඒකරාශී කරගෙන තිනවා මුදල් බෙදා දීමට. රාමසාන උපවාස සමයත් එක්ක මම හිතන්නේ සංවිධානය කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ අනුව මෙතෙන්ට 400ක පිරිසක් රැස් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒ මුදල් ලබාගත් පිරිසට උපදෙස් දීලා තියෙනවා යන්න එපා. දෙවතාවක් කියා එන්න පුළුවන් හින්දා තවදුරටත් මේක ඇතුළේම රැඳී ඉන්න කියලා වෙලා. අන්නේ කාරණාවත් එක්ක ලොකු තෙරපීමක් ඒ වෙලාවේ වෙලා තියෙනවා.
Injured persons were admitted to the Colombo National Hospital, and hospital spokesperson said that 3 women had succumbed.
එකයි කාල් දින තමයි දැන් සිද්ධ වුණේ. ගෑනු කට්ටියයි පිරිමි කට්ටිය එක පැත්තකේ පොලිමෙක් ආවා. ගෑනු කට්ටියගේ තදබදයකුත් ඉඳලා වැටිලා තදබදින ඇඟට උඩින් මෙහෙලා තදබදයක් ඇති වුණා. ඒන් තල්ලු කරගෙන ආවා මෙහෙනුත් තල්ලු කරගෙන ආවා යට වුණා කට්ටිය. පැය භාගයක් විතර කාලයක් ගියා යට වෙලා හිටපු කට්ටිය එළියට ඇතුළට ගන්න උඩට අපිට. ආරංචි වුණා මිනිස්සු කට්ටියම ආවා මෙතනට. එතකොට ගේට්ටු එරියාම කට්ටිය ඔක්කොම ඇතුළට ගියා. ඇතුළට ගියාම එකට එක ඔක්කොම මේ වලට වැටුනේ. ඒක වෙන්නකො වයස. ඊට පස්සේ මාලිගාවත පොලිසියෙන් ඇවිල්ලා කට්ටිය ඔක්කොම අයින් කරලා ලෙඩ්ඩු ටික අරගෙන
මාලිගාවත පොලිස් ස්ථානාධිපතිතුමත් ඇවිල්ලා නියෝගයක් දුන්නා මෙතන ඉන්න එපා කියලා. එයාත් හැමතිස්සෙම බැටලා තියෙනවා. බැනුවට අපේ මිනිස්සු අහන්න මේ කර්ෆියු දාලා අපිත් කිව්වා. මේක මිනිස්සු ඇව්වේ නැහැ. අපි ඒකත් දැක්කා. මේ ඉස්කෝලේදී දෙනකොට ග්‍රාම සේවක මහත්තයාටත් බැනලා යනවා.
The hospital spokesperson said that 4 persons continue to receive treatment at the intensive care unit, while 5 others were discharged after being treated. Police also said that the aid distribution in question was conducted disregarding the curfew and health protocols put in place owing to the spread of COVID-19. They added that its organizers were sent a permit to conduct the program. A businessman and 5 other persons were arrested by police over the incident. Colombo Additional Magistrate Kanchana Niranjana Silva meanwhile also inspected the scene of the incident.
Now, the Supreme Court was told today that the opposition has no intention of safeguarding the citizens' rights, since they had sent a letter to the president promising full support without attempts to defeat the government. This was highlighted when the fundamental rights petitions challenging the President's dissolution of Parliament and the date set by the Election Commission for polls were taken up for the fourth consecutive day today. President's counsel Ramesh De Silva also made it evident that just because the date set by the President for polls changed, the President's Gazette dissolving Parliament becomes invalid.
The hearing of the fundamental rights petitions filed before the Supreme Court challenging the date set by the Election Commission to hold the general election this year was done for the fourth day today. President's counsel V.K. Choksi made submissions yesterday pertaining to 5 petitions on behalf of Election Commission Chairman Mahinda Deshapriya and fellow member of the Commission N.J. Abesekara, who are named as respondents. He made evident that the Election Commission had acted legally in line with the President's Gazette. He added that the nomination process was also legal, stressing that from the date that health authorities deem it is safe to hold elections, it will take 60 to 75 days for a free and fair election to be held. In the meantime, President's counsel Ramesh De Silva made submissions before court this morning on behalf of President's Secretary Dr. P.B. Jayasundara. Citing a Parliament's 5-year tenure coming to an end and a President dissolving Parliament as 2 constitutional ways of ending a Parliament, President's counsel De Silva said that the old Parliament in no way comes into effect just because the dates set by the President to convene the Parliament changed. The President's counsel added that the process of working off a parliamentary election is contained within the Parliamentary Elections Act formed by the Parliament in line with Article 101 of the Constitution. He made evident that since the law pertaining to holding elections cascades from the Constitution to the Parliamentary Elections Act, if a situation prevails where the Election Commission cannot hold the election on the date set by the President, the Commission is vested with the power to change the date of the polls. He further noted that according to Article 24 subsection 3 of the Parliamentary Elections Act, a limit to the time where an election can be postponed is not mentioned pertaining to Election Commission changing the date of polls. Therefore, the President's counsel stressed that just because the Election Commission changed the date of the election, it does not mean that the President's initial Gazette dissolving Parliament becomes invalid. He went on to say that the President has never instructed the Commission to refrain from holding the election and expressed belief that the so-called Independent Election Commission will declare a date for the polls at the earliest possible instance. He also noted that when considering the petitioners, only those who have submitted nominations under the Samagi Jana Balavega have filed petitions. He argued that since petitioner Ranjit Madduma Bandara had signed nominations as the General Secretary of SJB, he had acted in acceptance of the legality of the President's Gazette. President's counsel Ramesh De Silva stressed that no one has the capability to convene a dead parliament. He went on to say that the President is vested with the power to convene the Parliament via Article 70 subsection 7 of the Constitution only if the President is satisfied that an emergency situation has occurred which warrants that action. With the President deeming that new laws are not required to bring the prevailing situation under control, the President's counsel questioned as to why the legislature should be convened. He also dismissed the petitioner's portrayal of the current COVID-19 situation, insisting that the President had made it very clear through deed that the pandemic can be brought under control with the use of existing laws. He said that he will quote from a letter sent to the President by former opposition leader Sajith Premadasa and several others to prove that the petitioners have an ulterior motive. The President's counsel said that the letter inked by Premadasa, Ranil Wickramasinghe, R. Sambandhan and Rauf Hakim urges the President to convene the old Parliament with the promise that they would render their fullest support to the government without attempting to defeat it. He posed the question, if the opposition says that it will not defeat the government at any instance, how can they safeguard citizens' rights? In simpler terms, he said that the action amounts to an attempt at striking a deal with the government. President's counsel Ramesh De Silva said that since the President rejected the deal, the petitioners came before court with the intention of getting the old Parliament reconvened. He also explained that when the Parliament is dissolved, the President is vested with the power to draw from the Consolidated Fund to finance state services and stressed that state services doesn't solely mean payment of salaries of state sector employees. Further hearing of the petitions was set at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Now, moving on with other stories, the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the Easter Sunday terror attacks continued questioning of police personnel attached to the Colombo Fort Police Station on lack of action taken with regards to warnings communicated on the day prior to the imminent attacks, calling for increased security at churches in the area. Commission members called out several irregularities contained in the statement provided by Chief Inspector Lalit Priyadarshana of the Fort Police and concluded that it was clear that the witness had attempted to deliberately omit information on the warning's time frame.
The Presidential Commission investigating the Easter Sunday attacks summoned Chief Inspector Lalit Priyadarshana of the Fort Police last afternoon. This was following evidence provided by the acting OIC of the Fort Police at the time of the attacks, Chief Inspector Sarath Kumarasinghe, who revealed that Chief Inspector Priyadarshana was on duty at the station at the time. Chief Inspector Priyadarshana told the Commission that on the afternoon of 20th April, Chief Inspector Kumarasinghe had informed him of the threat of the attacks by telephone and instructed him to increase security at Catholic churches in the area, but added that the warning had not indicated a specific time or date of the attacks. However, the Commission pointed out a contradiction in the written statement provided to the Commission's police unit, where he had stated that the warning had informed him of an imminent attack at any time after 2300 hours. The State Council then ordered the witness to read before the Commission the entry made in the police logbook of the telephone call, which did not contain any mention of an attack time frame. Following an intense cross-examination of the witness by the Commission, he finally admitted to having included references of a time frame for the attacks. The Commission's chairman then questioned the witness as to whether Colombo Fort OIC Sagara Liyanage or Chief Inspector Sarath Kumarasinghe had attempted to influence his testimony in any way, to which he responded in the negative, but added that he had only been instructed to speak on his actions during that time period without going into too much detail. The witness was then questioned whether he had been instructed to remove the reference to 2300 hours from his initial statement to the police unit, to which the witness remained silent. The witness also remained silent when queried on why he had deigned to omit reference to 2300 hours in his statement to the Commission. Accordingly, the senior State Counsel concluded that it was evident that the witness deliberately attempted to omit references to today and 2300 hours from his testimony to coincide with the testimony of the previous day's witnesses. The witness made no comment in response to this statement as well. The witness was also queried as to whether he had informed officers on duty at checkpoints as instructed by acting OIC Sarath Kumarasinghe, to which he responded that although he had informed the personnel of the phone call, he had not made mention of the specific contents of the warnings. Following this, the witness was then asked if there was a possibility of apprehending even one bomber if security checks were heightened. He admitted that it would have been possible to do so.
Now, the Cabinet co-spokesperson Dr. Bandula Gunawardena announced today that the government is facing a situation where it will not be able to provide the 5,000 rupee relief payment for the month of June to members of the public affected by the COVID-19 outbreak. This announcement comes following the Election Commission writing to the Cabinet informing it of numerous complications, or complaints I should say, filed by civil society groups, private individuals and secretaries of major political parties who have labelled the government relief program as a politically motivated gimmick. Hence, the government has decided to suspend the payments in face of possible legal constraints.
විශේෂිත අවශ්‍යතාවයක් සහිතව ලංකාවේ ජනගහනයේ ප්‍රතිශතයක් හැටියට සිටින වෛද්‍යවරුන්ගේ විශාල අඩුවක් තිබෙනවා. ඒ නිසා එම අඩුව අඩු කර ගැනීම පිණිස එම පාඩුව පියවා ගැනීම පිණිස දැනට සේවය කරන වෛද්‍යවරුන්ගේ විශ්‍රාම ගැන්වීමේ වයස 61 දක්වා වැඩි කරන්නට කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලය තීන්දුව කරා. ඒත් එක්කම අධිකරු ජනාධිපතිතුමන් විසින් නියෝග කළා. වෛද්‍යවරුන්ගේ පමණක් නෙවෙයි අනෙකුත් සියලුම තාක්ෂණික ශාස්ත්‍රයන් සේවා අවශ්‍යතාවයන් පරිදි සේවය කිරීමේ සහ විශ්‍රාම ගැන්වීමේ වයස 61 දක්වා සෑම ශාස්ත්‍රයක්ම ආවරණය වන පරිදි අභ්‍යාසයකින් පසුව තීන්දුව ගැනීම පිණිස කමිටුවක් පත් කරන්නටත් අධිකරු ජනාධිපතිතුමන් තීන්දුව කරා.
රජය තීරණය කළා තිබුණා කෙසේ හෝ අප්‍රේල් මාසයේ මැයි මාසයේ සහ ජුනි මාසයේට 5000 දීමනාව බැංකු වලින් ණයට අරගෙන හරි දුෂ්කරතාවයට පත්වෙච්ච ජනතාවට ගෙවිය යුතුයි කියලා. නමුත් ඊයේ දිනේදී අපේ මැතිවරණ කොමිෂන් සභාව විසින් එවා තිබුණ ලිපියක් ජනාධිපති ලේකම්තුමා විසින් කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයට ඉදිරිපත් කළා. මේ තියෙන ලිපිය. එතුමා සඳහන් කරලා තිබෙනවා මේ පිළිබඳ පැමිණිලි ලැබිලා තියෙනවා විශාල ප්‍රමාණයක්. තනි පුද්ගලයන් සිවිල් සංවිධාන පමණක් නොව තරඟ කරන දේශපාලන පක්ෂවල ලේකම්වරු විසින් මෙම කාර්යය දේශපාලන ස්වරූපයක් ගෙන ඇති බවට චෝදනා කරනු ලැබේ කියලා. ආණ්ඩුවට විරුද්ධව දැන් මේ බොරදියේ මාළුබාන මේ මහජනයා මෙවැනි දුක්ඛ දෝමනස්සයකට පත් වෙලා තියෙන අවස්ථාවකදී ඔවුන්ට ලැබෙන්න තියෙන ප්‍රතිලාභයක් මේ ආණ්ඩුව ගෙවන්නේ ඔවුන්ගේම මුදල් වලින් කළමනාකරණය කරලා ගෙවන ප්‍රතිලාභය ලබා දීම වැළැක්වීම සඳහා පැමිණිලි ඉදිරිපත් කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා මට හිතා ගන්න බෑ. මේ අනුව ඊයේ කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයේදී කතා කළේ අපි දැන් මොනතරම් සත්භාවයෙන් කළත් මැතිවරණ කොමිසමට කියන්න පුළුවන් මේ දේශපාලන ව්‍යාපෘතිය. රජයක් වශයෙන් මැතිවරණ කොමිසමේ නියෝගයට ගරු කරමින් ජුනි මාසයේදී මේ පන්දායේ දීමනාව ගෙවීමට නොහැකි වන තත්ත්වයක් උද්ගත වෙලා තියෙන බව කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලය විසින් මට දැනුම් දෙන ලෙස අපිට දැනුම් දුන්නා. ඒ අනුව මේ මැතිවරණ කොමිසමේට විවිධ ආකාරයට අර්ථකථනය කරන්න පුළුවන්. එක එක අය චෝදනා කරනවා දේශපාලන පක්ෂ මේක දේශපාලන ස්වරූපයක් ගන්නවා. ඒ නිසා මේක දා දෙන්න කීවොත් එතන අපිට නීතිමය වශයෙන් ගැටලුවක් ඇති වෙන්න තියෙනවා.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa today reviewed the production, import and distribution of pharmaceutical supplies during a discussion with the chairman of two state pharmaceutical corporations held at the Presidential Secretariat.
At the discussion, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa inquired as to how the medicine supply in the country is structured. In reply, the chairman of the State Pharmaceutical Corporation, consultant neurosurgeon Prasanna Gunasena, said the supply is done in three ways: production by the state sector, production by the private sector, and imports by both sectors. He added that currently there are 750 varieties of medicine in use in Sri Lanka, and shortages may occur due to delays in the procurement process in respect of imports. Directing that no room should be left for shortages in the supply of medicines in the country, the President pointed out the necessity of deciding the medicinal requirement of the coming year by studying the demand pattern of the previous year. The head of state said that the production and supply of pharmaceutical items should be streamlined for the benefit of the people, disregarding the interests of a handful of intermediaries. He stressed that formulating a simple import and supply mechanism of medicines is a priority, adding that all medicines should be of higher standards, while warning relevant officials not to give any chance to produce or import substandard medicines. While stressing the need for maintaining buffer stocks to prevent any scarcity to occur, the President pointed out that orders should be placed by calculating the date of expiry of medicine.
We will see you shortly after this break. Stay tuned.
කොරෝනා වෛරසය පැතිරීම වළක්වන්න සබන් යොදා දෑත් සෝදන්න.
Welcome back. You're watching First at 9. Now, Sri Lanka's weather conditions have been subjected to drastic changes resulting from the cyclone Amphan that entered India yesterday. The Department of Meteorology warns that the rains in the southern part of the country could enhance as a result of the low-level wind convergence taking place near the island. In the meantime, the National Building Research Organisation extended landslide warnings and cautioned people to stay vigilant of pre-landslide signs.
A change in the weather was experienced over the island following the entry of the cyclone Amphan through state of West Bengal, India last afternoon. Many low-lying areas in the island are still submerged, while many crops were also destroyed. In a statement, the Department of Meteorology said that the showery conditions in the southwestern part of the island are expected to enhance to some extent during the next 24 hours due to the development of a low-level wind convergence in the vicinity of the island. It further said that the thunder showers or heavy rain could be experienced in the western, Sabargamuwa, central and northwestern provinces, as well as Gaul and Matra districts with rainfall over 100 millimeters. Due to the strong winds, a banana plantation in Mamadala in Ambalantata was severely damaged. Farmers say nearly 1,000 banana plants across an area of 2 acres were completely destroyed by the wind. Meanwhile, 530 acres of banana and papaya were damaged by strong winds which blew across the areas of Tisamarama, Pallama and Ranminitanna. In the meantime, the Sri Lanka Land Development Corporation has commenced a program to clean drains and canals in the area of Kolonnava. The operation involves the tri-forces, the police and the Civil Defence Force. With the rains forecast to intensify, senior scientist at the National Building Research Organisation, Dr. Vasanta Senadira, cautions that landslide warnings have been extended to many more areas in the country.
With the present condition and considering weather forecast, NBR has extended the landslide early warning message from 15th hours on today to 15th hours on tomorrow. With that, level 3 evacuation warning issued to Ratnapura Division Secretary Division in Ratnapura District. Level 2 alert warning issued to Baddegama, Nelluwa and Palama Division Secretary Division in Gaul District. Ayagama, Alapata, Kalavana, Kiriyalla, Opanayaka, Palmadulla, Balangoda, Kuruvita, Ehligoda and Nivitigala Division Secretary Division in Ratnapura District. Agalavatta, Palindanura, Bulasinga, Valalavita and Ingiri Division Secretary Division in Kaltara District. Pitapatara and Kotakola Division Secretary Division in Matra District. Taranegala, Bratkovitia, Varakapola, Rambukkana, Galigamua, Kegol and Dehovita Division Secretary Division in Kewal District, Mawatagam and Polgahal Division Secretary Division in Kurnaga District, Amagamo Kole Division Secretary Division in Norelia District, Level 1 watchful warning issued to Golpo Gravet, Hatmimana, LPTA, Niagama, Bope Podala and Nagoda Division Secretary Division in Gold District, Ukwira Division Secretary Division in Matara District, Veligipala, Godakavela, Kolonna, Ibulpe, Kahawata, and the MLPTA Division Secretary Division in Ratamura District, Horana and Matugama Division Secretary Division in Kaltara District, Sitavaka Division Secretary Division in Kalamu District, Aranaik and Yatiantoda Division Secretary Division in Kegol District, Kandi Pogravits and Gangavata Korlea, Patheheva Hata, Ganga Yala Korle, and Tumpane Division Secretary Division in Kandy District, Kotmale Division Secretary Division in Norelia District, and NBRO advised to people, if you observe any freelancers, and please move away from the areas and move quickly to safer places. And the rain occurs in other part of the hilly areas in the country. The people live in these areas. Be vigilant on slope and cut stop failures, and road users should also be careful about the cut stop failures.
In other news, Sri Lanka once again has reported no community infections of COVID-19, with the only infections reported in the past week detected in the Navy virus cluster and among foreign arrivals being housed in quarantine centres throughout the country. Meanwhile, more PCR tests are being carried out on at-risk groups in order to head off and isolate any possible new clusters.
Positive results from Sri Lanka taking correct decisions in the battle against COVID-19 are being experienced by the country as a whole at present, as there haven't been any community-based infections in the recent days. The number of people recovering from the virus continues to rise, with the figure currently at 604, which as a percentage stands at 57.7%. This places the number of active COVID-19 cases at 432, with 17 more positive cases being confirmed during the day. Over 2 months have passed since Sri Lanka confirmed its first coronavirus patient, and since then 1,045 have been reported in the island. From that figure, only 9 have resulted in death. Meanwhile, the only COVID-19 infection which is confirmed within the last 24-hour cycle, which ended at 10 a.m. today, is a returnee from Kuwait. After arriving at the BIA, PCR tests were performed on all arrivals before they were sent to quarantine facilities. Test results later confirmed that the individual in question was COVID-19 positive. Naval personnel continue to make up the lion's share of patients diagnosed with the coronavirus in the island. Since the first COVID-19 positive Navy sailor was detected on the 22nd of April, a further 586 were confirmed to have been infected. The initial infection of a Navy sailor occurred during a roundup operation of persons from the area of Suduvella in Jaela who had come into contact with a COVID-19 patient. From the total of 587 naval personnel infected with the virus, 237 have recovered so far.
වැලිසර නාවික හමුදා කඳුර කියන්නේ අකර 100 ගාණක් පුරා පැතිරිච්ච ජනපදයක් වගේ එහෙම නැත්නම් දිස්ත්‍රික්කයක් වගේ කොටසක්. රෝගීන් විශාල ප්‍රමාණයක් වාර්තා වීමට හේතු වුණේ මුලින්ම මේ කඳුර තුල පළවෙනි රෝගියා ආසාදනය වෙනකොටම හඳුනා ගැනීමට තිබිච්ච අපහසුතාවය. මොකද මේ රෝගීන් අති බහුතරයක් රෝග ලක්ෂණ නැති අය. එතකොට අපි රෝගියෙක් ගත්තාම ඒ රෝගියාට කාගෙන්ද හැදුනේ කියලා එතනදී අපිට කියන්න අමාරුයි. ඒක ගත්තාම උදාහරණයක් හැටියට අර ඉතාලියේ එහෙම නැත්නම් මහා බ්‍රිතාන්‍යය වගේ රටවල් වල සීමාවකින් තොරව ඒක පැතිරීමේ හා සමානයි. නමුත් ඒකෙන් කියන්නේ නැහැ අපේ රටත් ඉතාලියක් වෙනවයි කියන එක.
In the meantime, PCR tests continue to be performed on persons at risk of contracting COVID-19. Accordingly, PCR tests were conducted on the Navy Coast Guard team currently on active duty in the area of Velavatta.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා නාවික හමුදාවේ පෙරළ ආරක්ෂක වරුණ කණ්ඩායමේ නාවික හමුදාවේ බටයින් 26 දෙනෙකුගේ PCR පරීක්ෂණයට කිරීමට නියමිතයි. මොවුන් ආශ්‍රිතයන් ලෙස හඳුන්වන්න පුළුවන් පළවෙනි පෙළේ. ඊට අමතරව අවට ප්‍රදේශයේ වෙසෙන සිවිල් වැසියන් 8 දෙනෙකුගේ පමණක් PCR පරීක්ෂණ සියල්ලම සිදු කරනවා.
Meanwhile, 110 Sri Lankans who were unable to return to the country from Indonesia were brought back this afternoon. The returnees were subjected to PCR testing at the airport and were subsequently directed to quarantine centres. In the meantime, the Ministry of Foreign Relations confirmed that the Sri Lankan embassy in Abu Dhabi is closed as several employees at the embassy contracted the coronavirus. Reportedly, 5 staff members of the embassy have tested positive for COVID-19. The embassy said that in order to receive information or for queries, the embassy may be contacted via slemb.abudhabi@mfa.gov.lk or via the toll-free number 800-119-119. In a separate development, a 45-year-old woman in the area of Alauba was admitted to the Colombo National Hospital after she displayed symptoms of the coronavirus. The Home Agama medical officer said that the woman had developed fever and a cold last night and had later called for an ambulance. The woman had reportedly come with another person last evening to a lodge in the area of Kandalanda in Homagama. The Homagama medical officer suspects that the person the woman had spent the last evening with is a member of the security forces, since a bag containing a uniform was found at the lodge. Upon investigation, it was discovered that the lodge had opened up illegally yesterday, and investigations are currently underway to locate her companion.
Now, the government today decided to shelve the proposed international cricket stadium, which was set to be constructed in Homagama. The announcement of the $40 million project drew controversy, with rumours circulating that the government would be funding it. Even after Sri Lanka Cricket clarified that the cricket board itself will be funding it, former players and sports ministers urged the government to rethink the plan and possibly reallocate any such funds towards developing the sport at a time when the national side is down in the dumps.
The government announced today that plans for the construction of a $40 million international cricket stadium in Homagama has been shelved. Earlier this week, controversy surrounded an announcement by Cabinet co-spokesman Dr. Bandara Gunawardena, who revealed plans for the construction of a new international cricket stadium on a 26-acre plot of land belonging to the government in Homagama. The announcement garnered heavy criticism from past cricket captains such as Arjuna Ranatunga, Roshan Mahanama and Mahela Javardhana. Their criticism centered around the argument that with Sri Lanka possessing numerous existing cricket grounds and hardly any cricket being played at them, the last thing Sri Lanka needs is to expend a sum of $40 million on yet another one. In response, Sri Lanka Cricket released a statement saying that all expenses will be borne by the cricket board and will not utilise public funds. The statement announced that with the ICC having afforded member countries the opportunity to express interest in staging the World Cup, with conditions calling for at least 5 international level cricket stadiums in the country with seating capacities of 25 to 40,000. It added that as such, the project will be an absolute and private investment of Sri Lanka Cricket, and no government funds will be utilised or will be sought at any stage of the construction. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa hosted a discussion with former cricket captains and former sports ministers at the Prime Minister's office today to discuss the issue.
අන්තිම අවුරුදු 15 ගත්තොත් අපිට වැඩිපුරම අපිට ජාත්‍යන්තරයට ක්‍රිකට් ක්‍රීඩකයෝ බිහිවෙලා තියෙන පිටපළාත් වල. කොළඹින් නෙමෙයි. ඉතින් අපි තාම මේ පිටපළාත් වලට අවශ්‍ය කරන පහසුකම් අපි දීලා නැහැ. ඩොලර් මිලියන 40ක ණයක් ගත්ත කියන්නේ අපි 3ක 4ක පොලියක් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. ඒතර ඒ පොලියයි වාරිකයයි ගත්තොත් මිලියන 3.5ක්. ඉතින් අපිට මේ මුදල අපිට යොදවන්න පුළුවන් නම් අපේ ක්‍රිකට් ක්‍රීඩාව. ඉතින් ඒක හොඳ ආයෝජනයක් අපිට අපේ ක්‍රිකට් ක්‍රීඩකයෝ බිහි කරන්න. පසුබැස්මක් තියෙන අවස්ථාවක මං හිතන්නේ ඉස්සෙල්ලම මහලයි අපි එක්ක අහුවෙලා අපි සැලැස්මක් දුන්න අධ්‍යාපන අමාත්‍යාංශය හරහා ක්‍රිකට් ගොඩනගන්න කොහොමද කියන එක.
අනිත් එක දැන් බංග්ලාදේශය ගත්තාම අපිට වඩා විශාල ජනගහනයක් ඉන්නවා. නමුත් අපි ඒ තරම් ක්‍රීඩා පිටි නැහැ. නමුත් ජාත්‍යන්තර ක්‍රීඩා පිටිත් අපි තරම් නැහැ. නමුත් ඔවුන්ගේ ක්‍රීඩා කෞශල්‍ය එන්නෙන්නම වැඩි දියුණු වෙලා තියෙනවා. මොකද ඔවුන්ගේ ඒ සැලැස්ම ඉතාමත් හොඳයි.
යම් වැඩපිළිවෙලක් හදලා ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න සූදානම් වෙන්නේ කියන ඉල්ලීම තමයි කරන්නේ. මොකද මේකේ පිළ බිදිලා එක අදහස් වලට විතරක් යට වෙන්නේ නැතුව අපි එකතු වෙලා මොකද ඔක්කොටම ඕන ක්‍රීඩාව නගන්න. ඒකින්ද ඒ ක්‍රීඩාව ගොඩනගා ගන්න අපි ගොඩනගලා තියෙනවා, ගොඩනැගිලා තියෙනවා, රටේ නමක් තියෙනවා, ලෝකේ නමක් තියෙනවා.
We will see you again shortly. Welcome back. You're watching First at 9. Now, the all-share price index closed 3.26% higher today, with index-heavy John Keells and Commercial Bank making gains, recouping their previous day's losses. Colombo's main all-share price index climbed 151.65 points to 4,806.87, topping 4,700 points from 2 days earlier. The S&P SL20 index of more liquid stocks also went up by 157.57 points to 2,061.17.
Today was another day with heavy surge in the stock market, where the market ended in the green and the SPI went up as much as 130 points, and so did the S&P SL20. So today the S&P SL20 actually gained closer to 7%, the highest percentage gain we've seen in the index. And the banking sector counters recorded over 50% of the turnover today, with significant volume and turnover being recorded recorded. We saw a lot of retail, high net worth and also institutional activity in the market, where one of the transactions, mainly HNB, contributed a significant portion of the overall turnover. So foreign selling continued to be heavy throughout this week, and the selling, as the market moved up, the selling pressure has been significantly increasing. Today we saw a net foreign outflow of 1.2 billion, gradually increasing as the market moves up.
And that's it from all of us here at First at 9. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.